Hello, friends. How are we doing? How is everybody today? Thank you all for the hosts. Thanks for the new follows. Distraction. Plummet, how are you? If y'all don't know, Plummet is the one who helped me write a lot of this campaign. So big shout outs to him, dude. Nick, thank you for the sub. And that brings up a good point. You guys can sub now and cheer and do all that kind of stuff because we made affiliate, which is a pretty big deal. It's our first real milestone. We weren't expecting to hit it when we did, but we did. Any of the proceeds, all of the proceeds from bits or subs will go directly to Nami, just like the donations. They go directly to that same account. Oh snap, would do cheer, and now he's number one. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. We're gonna start. The party's a little short right now. Unfortunately, Shijin, due to the nature of his work, is probably gonna be like 15 more minutes or so, and Kat is running late on something that she's doing, so she should be here soon as well. But let's go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna unleash the monsters from D&D, or from the Discord, and then we'll jump in. Hello.
Hello.
Every time.
I should have waited too.
He's pretty good at it. Alright, let me switch the scene. Hey. Put that on that. Hey, David with a sub. Thanks, buddy. Enjoy your D20 love emote.
Which is adorable.
It is pretty great emote. Cat does pretty legit ass emote work, if I say so. And I do. Alright, well. While we wait or while we get started. Last time, you guys... Kelsey with the biddies, thank you. Last time you guys...
Got distracted.
Well, yeah. You went to kind of like on a shopping montage, basically. There was a couple other things. You went to the Bent Spoon Cafe and you met both of the owners there. Oh my god, I completely forgot your character's name. Vorag. Vorag dug a little deeper into that and met... Well, he didn't meet. I guess like he talked to Liam a lot more than anybody else did. Went to some strange places. The bottom of the river. It was a good time. It was a good time for Vorag.
I had fun.
Yeah, you got a bunch of information that I wasn't expecting to give you, so that was good.
Yeah. A lot of people in chat had some PTSD.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, there was mention of character deaths in chat. Emery got a little bit of information about where she could go to get any kind of information on the Libellus Archives, which is what your target is essentially. You then went to Rinson's Academy, which is the big, huge magical academy there. And they told you that even they're not allowed in there. They don't really have any research on it or anything. But that they believe some of the workers are from like the Temple of Mistra. So I believe that is your next goal. Once you left the academy, the other three in the party decided to go shopping, where they ran into Al-Assad and bought some stuff.
A cool cloak.
Cool cloak and something else, yeah? I don't remember what else you bought.
It was another cloak, but not as cool.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Oh, it was the displacement cloak.
Yes.
I mean, that cloak's pretty good, to be honest.
Oh, no, it's good.
That
but
disadvantage on
comparison
attack
to
is pretty dope.
superhero cloak.
Oh, no. The Cloak of Billowing is the best magical item in this game. Hands down. Will always be. Did not buy the axe.
It was too expensive.
I feel like even if it wasn't too expensive, she still would not have bought it.
I mean, Vorag would have seen no issue with it.
But, yeah, so did not get your axe, but that's all right. You did get a superhero cloak for a little bit. And then you guys went back into the inn, and I believe that's where you discussed what your next plans were, which were to wait until tomorrow. Did you guys decide whether or not you were going to go to the archives, or if you were going to go to the temple, or like...
We're going to the temple in the morning.
You're going to the temple in the morning. Okay. If I played D&D, I'd have a big axe. Okay. Here. It's every time I'm like, there's something I'm forgetting to pull up, but I can't think about what it is, and it's my fucking drive folder every single time with like all my notes in it. I should just make a sticky.
Who needs?
I mean me, because y'all make me look up random crap that I'm not even remotely thinking about.
You're welcome.
Places.
Every calculated.
And Delft, there it is. There it is. Alrighty, but yeah, you guys, I think you paid for separate rooms, so Emery and Twang were in one room, and the other three of you were in the other room. So yeah, you guys wake up next morning. Everybody's had a decently restful sleep. Tiny's still pretty passed out. And Twang also seems to still be very tired when you wake up, Emery. I think Twang is probably usually up before you, but not this time.
So would you say Tiny is basically just like grumbling and rolling back over?
Tiny is like comatose.
Okay, I'm going to smirk a little bit, and then I'm going to wrap Tiny as tight as I can in her blanket.
Okay.
To the extent where she will not be able to get out.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to leave her like that.
Yep. No, I approve. Alrighty. So you do that. You guys walk out. Xander, are you doing anything other than trying to probably find food?
Breakfast meat roll.
Oh yeah, meat rolls. So many meat rolls.
Meat rolls are the best.
All right, you guys head downstairs, just the two of you. George is down there. It's almost like he never sleeps. Every time you're down here, George is down here. But when he sees you, he doesn't even like say anything. He just puts a plate with meat rolls on it, on like the bar.
This man understands. I like him.
Emery, what are you doing?
I want to have breakfast with the Ben Spoon.
Okay. So you just head out?
Do we see her leave?
I mean, yeah. You would probably notice her walking down the stairs at least.
I just look at her the whole time.
As you've got like a half a meat roll shoved in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I try to offer her one.
No thanks.
I don't know why you guys are hating on the meat rolls, man.
I don't know either, man. They're so good. Listen, if a local restaurant made meat rolls, I'd get them all the time.
I'll see you two at the Temple of Bistra and
In what?
half an hour. Try not to be comatose on your meat.
I can attempt.
I was gonna say Xander doesn't know what that word means.
What I mean?
You probably just looked at you and like, that sounds like exactly what I want to do. All right, well, you head out. And you head towards the Bent Spoon Cafe. When you go in, again, it's empty, seemingly. But when you like pick a poof to sit in, eventually like there's like a little teacup that floats to you, and then the inevitable teapot. And after about like 5 minutes or so, Twinks walks out. He says, "Oh, I see you're back. Where's your fiery friend?"
She's still asleep, I think.
Well, I guess she can't burn things when she's sleeping.
I hope not.
I wouldn't put it past her, to be honest. Anyways, is there anything that I can help you with?
Unless you can get me in the archives? No.
Is it just intellectual curiosity, or did you lose something?
I'm after information.
Oh, well, aren't we all? I wouldn't even bother trying to get in there. I've never heard of anybody doing it. I have heard of people trying to break in before. Usually ends in executions.
Well, I don't plan on that happening.
I would hope not. You're very lovely.
Well, thank you.
Anyways, I'll be in the back if you need me. Just call my name, preferably without magic. I'll hear you.
Trust me, I won't. Scream, that is.
All right. He like kind of bows to you flamboyantly and then turns around and walks into the back.
Once he's gone, I'll start perusing his bookshelves for anything on Sagthul, which I highly doubt will be here, but you know.
You never know.
There's a chance.
There is a chance. Give me 1 second. Let's see how good your chance is.
Do I smell first roll of the night?
It might be. We'll see.
Oh no, I don't even have my sheet open yet.
That's no bueno. Why do you take offense to that, Jay? What?
I don't know, because she wants to be difficult.
I mean, that's just kind of her, though.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I can't insight the book out? Come on.
No, you could not.
And apparently you can't investigation it out either.
Man. Almost like
Listen,
you needed
I've
the other
been there.
roll. No, unfortunately, you do not find anything.
I'll deceive the book out. Damn it.
That also did not work. You lie to yourself that you think you could do that. You feel kind of bad. But anyways, yeah, you look through the books. There's a bunch of books like... It's a lot of like fairy tales and romance type books. There's like novels that seem to be like maybe fiction novels or like non-fiction type novels. Stuff about like going on adventures and all kinds of stuff like that. You do find a couple books that are labeled Blossom's Compendium to Adventure. You find volume 3 and volume 1.
I'm gonna open up volume 1.
Okay. It's a book. Volume 1 is mostly about like who Blossom is, and like you learn that she's an adventurer from the Explorers Guild in Ire, and that she like does a lot of drawing, a lot of art, a lot of stuff that like sticks out to Emery actually as kind of like a person. But this book then begins to tell of a tale of her adventure to Okaha Island, which you are familiar with as a person. But yeah, basically you read all about it. And for those that are wondering, if you go to the YouTube channel, the Okaha Island one shot is there. If you're wondering why this person's got access to Their characters right there. It's actually a fairly good one shot. Was it all worth it? Came out of that.
Hashtag why did it have to be snake?
Some Indiana Jones stuff going on.
And more displacer things.
Yeah, there's a pretty
Always with
detailed
the
description
shifting.
of displacer beasts.
There was also frogs.
Was there? Oh yeah, you guys fought bullywogs and stuff. Anyways, but yeah, so you read through that. Blossom tells of stories about like doing this weird thing where she calls on thunder and transports herself and like kills a bunch of frogs all at once, or she does this thing where she like does that same thunder move and she grabs the dead body of a friend and like pulls him out of a temple as they're fighting giant fantastical snakes. It's kind of embellished, but the artwork that she like writes or like does next to it is extremely well done. You probably identify more with the artwork.
Extremely well done.
Yes.
Yes.
Super, super good.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm hearing him right.
Hey man, you're good. You are still asleep in your in room. That's about it.
Okay.
But yeah, so like I was saying, you identify with that, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, you have an enjoyable break feast.
And then I head to the temple.
All right. Vorag,
Mm-hmm.
you would roughly know like how long 30 minutes is or anything like that. Are you going to leave the temple or leave to go to the temple or?
Yeah. I'd rather not. Oh. Actually, would I know where that's at?
No,
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess I will
neither
navigate
would
myself
Emery,
back
to be honest,
pathway.
unless she's already found it. Actually,
The academy lady gave me distractions.
she did, and to be honest, you probably would know where it is because you would have seen it on the way in. It's not a small building. It's got tall spires. It like you can see it against the skyline of the city, kind of,
Oh.
especially if you're in the plaza.
Then if that's the case, then,
yeah.
yeah, I guess.
Like you'd probably like walk outside and be like, "Oh, I don't know where it is," and then look around and then see a bunch of like spires and stuff and be like,
The logic would dictate.
that it would. All right. So you're walking to the inn. Is anybody, Xander, what are you doing? Are you going with them or are you eating or?
Yes.
You're
Okay,
eating
then
or
he
you're
takes
going
his-
with them?
I'm going with him.
He's-
Okay.
Eating and
I took the
going.
yeses both, so I mean.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes.
And by this time,
I'm
Twang,
taking a meat roll with me.
you probably would have woken up and walked down the stairs realizing that Emery wasn't there, which isn't
Yep.
like that big of a deal. But you would see Vorag and Xander walking out.
Bird.
I'd look around, but I would already know that Emery's not there. Did you tell me that you were going there in the morning, or would I have no idea that you're headed there now?
You would have mentioned it yesterday, or Emery would have mentioned it yesterday.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna check the room, and because they're not in there, I'm gonna head off to the temple.
Okay. All right, so you kind of all make your way to the temple. Emery, you're definitely there first. You're way closer. As you walk into the temple, it is a white marble building that glints in the sunlight. There's two huge, large braziers full of fire. As you look down into the braziers, you can see that they're empty. There doesn't seem to be any wood or anything like that, but yet the fires burn. As you look up at the archway that signifies the entrance, it's not like a square doorway, it is an archway. And then around the archway, imprinted into the stone, is 6-sided stars that go all the way from the top and all the way down to the bottom. As you walk into the building, it's very open and airy. There's an open ceiling. There's a lot of like natural light and stuff on the inside. You can see your reflection in the marble underneath your feet, as it's very well maintained. There's columns all around this like central square in the building. And as you look around, you can see people like walking back and forth. They have like robes on or something like that. And if you continue forward and you look in the center square area, there is a large like altar type thing. And then standing on that is the figure of an elven woman. She, however, is not made of marble like the rest of everything is. She's made of this like black onyx type stone. And you know how some black onyx has like gold veins and stuff? She has the same thing going on, except all of those veins are purple and they seem to be like pulsing with light or something. And all around this are what seem to be offerings of money or incense. There's like little brass plates with incense burning. There's scrolls and scraps of parchment all around her, and there are people actively like on their knees praying to her.
I will just stand in the corner and wait for everybody else to show up.
All right, yeah. I mean, it's probably a couple minutes as you like look around. Go ahead and roll perception while you are looking around, and then everybody else will have walked in.
I noticed nothing.
No, I mean,
I see nothing.
you notice. You just don't notice any like specific details. But yeah, the three of you guys walk in, and again, you all see the exact same thing that she sees.
All right.
Do I see Emery?
When you walk in, yeah, after you walk in, you kind of like look around, and then you notice her standing in the corner,
Right
looking at the
behind her.
statue. Okay.
Do I see anything of like an offering bin or anything? Like see some gold or stuff?
Yeah, it's not like you do see some gold, but it's like at the feet of this statue on the altar, and it's kind of scattered. It's not like in a basket or anything like that.
Do I still have a meat roll with me?
Probably, yeah. Knowing Xander.
I'm gonna put one there.
Okay.
You did exactly what I was hoping he was gonna do.
Roll perception.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Okay. Yeah, you walk up and you look at the statue, and it's very, very, very pretty statue, you know, and it's kind of glowy. It's cool. So you put a meat roll down.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
And then you walk away, and you don't notice anybody looking at you or anything like that.
I don't even
Everybody-
care.
Yeah, everybody seems to just have ignored you.
Is there music playing?
No.
Hmm.
It's pretty. It's not necessarily quiet. Like there's people having conversations and stuff. And they're not necessarily like whispering or anything, but it's a very large open space, so it's like pretty quietly.
All right, since they're here now, gather them up, and then once we're all together, I'll be like, all right, let's look for one of the priests and try and get an audience with them. And then we'll, assumedly, I'll look for one.
Yeah, well, I guess that note also look for priest.
Okay. At this point, she's in the call. Kat, are you actually here?
Yes.
Okay. You finally
I'm
like
sorry I'm late.
wake up from your comatose
I was
state.
engrossed in my love
Yeah.
romance novel.
No,
Well,
that's not what happened.
That's not
Unfortunately,
what happened. You were comatose. You were just super asleep.
Aw,
they
Because
tried
you
to-
were engrossed in it until 6 in the morning.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, see, there you go. See, I'm fine with that.
But you finally wake up. You realize that nobody else is in the room. You go to stretch and you can't move your arms.
What?
When you look down, you realize that you're wrapped in your blanket like a burrito. You're like super tucked in.
I'm trying to I'm like wiggling
I'm
around,
gonna
like
need
I'm
that
trying to
strength
fucking
check.
like. Oh shit!
This is how Tiny dies.
Okay,
A
look at
tiny
my.
burrito.
Okay. Oh god damn it.
Tiny Rito.
Let me find. What's a saving throw? I don't want a saving throw.
Saving throw is fine. Yeah. Hey.
Oh my god.
All right. So I mean, you're like taken aback, and I don't know, you like kick your legs in anger or frustration or something like that, and it comes off pretty easily. So you don't waste like a bunch of time. But then you wake up and you look around the room, and you're the only one there.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Well, guess I just make sure that everything, nothing's fucking burning or anything.
Mm-mm. Everything's
Nothing's
fine.
burning. Everything's fine. Okay. So I guess I just kind of get up and I go down to go see Frank, and I ask him
Jeff.
where everybody's at. Jeff, Frank. I'm gonna call him Frank.
I understand.
Frank!
If you call him
His
Frank,
name-
you must
Frank.
C-Top
Frank.
Frank.
Yes,
Now
every
that
day.
now that cat's in chat, C-Top Frank. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you keep calling him Frank, and he keeps not responding to you at all.
I take Mage Hand
Okay.
and I tap him on the shoulder.
He turns around.
Hi. Do you know where my
Yes.
friends went?
No, they all left. The girl that's with you left earlier, and then the other three all left together like 10 minutes ago.
Did they order more?
Meat rolls, of
Meat
course
roll.
they did.
Of course they did. Okay. And you don't have anything sweet, so I'll just be going. Thanks for the help.
Kind of like nods.
Or
yeah.
lack thereof. Well, if I remember correctly from like what we talked about, it was that today we were gonna go to the temple.
Yes, you would. Tiny wouldn't have an issue remembering that at all.
Yeah, so I guess I just head on over to the temple.
Okay. Were you here when I explained the temple?
Yes.
Yeah, so you walk inside. You're probably 10 minutes behind the three of them walking in. So
Okay.
you'll see them like standing in the corner, and you'll probably witness Xander like walk up to the altar and place something on it as you're like entering the doorway, and walk away from it.
That's cute. He's making a little meat offering. Xander,
Oh, good one.
what you doing?
People are leaving stuff here. I live meat roll,
Do you know why they leave stuff here?
so other people can take it later.
No, it's an offering
To
to the god of this temple.
Goddess Mistra.
Goddess. Goodies.
Well, Tiny would be super, super familiar with this goddess. Like the one goddess you're probably overly familiar with.
the statue is a goddess.
Well, no, it's just an image, like a picture, like like a painted portrait of someone.
Sure.
That's like, yeah. Okay. Emery, the new woman that we've been hanging out with recently.
The lady.
Yes, the lady. She draws and she paints. Did you notice that?
No.
Okay. Well, I give up. Where's the rest of everybody?
They're all probably standing like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are they? Like
Yeah,
right next?
there.
Oh, well. So who do I have to thank for wrapping me up so snugly in my blanket while I was
No,
sleeping?
that was Xander.
Do
not
I?
touch
Can I
you.
tell if he's lying? Do I have to
I
do a
will
fucking?
gladly roll deception for this.
Yeah,
I
roll
will
deception for it.
gladly do it.
Okay, and do I do
Roll.
insight?
Roll insight, yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
Bitch!
Especially with like,
her knowing you.
well, that and Xander's immediate like what reaction.
Uh-huh.
Do not touch fire,
But-
lady.
With a
Do not
17
do-
deception, you like he's very convincing that he's playing it off real smooth that he didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just know.
But I
better.
can tell that it's
Yeah,
him.
you just know better.
Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Well, Xander, I'll have to remember that.
Tiny will remember this.
Poor Xander.
No one notices, but a little bit of sweat comes off of Vorak's brow at the mention of that.
All right. Yeah. So Emery, you said you wanted to start looking for.
A priest of some sort.
Okay. With Tiny here, it's pretty easy for you to do. Most of what seems to be like the priest or any kind of like official order are wearing purple lined like white robes. And you're able to spot a couple like standing across from you.
I will approach him.
Okay. As you walk up to them, they're having a conversation. It's not very intricate or crazy or anything like that. And they look up at you as you approach. One of them is a female elf, and the other one is a male, seemingly human. And they both like kind of nod their head to you.
I'll give them
What
a
kind of elf?
respectful bow. And then I'll turn to the elf. Excuse me.
It would.
Who would be the one in charge here?
Oh well. That's hard to call. We don't really have a head priestess or priest to say. I guess the one that usually brings everybody together and organizes everything would be Shenra. Did you need to speak with her, or is there a specific reason I should say that somebody is looking for her? I'm sure I could help. Roll perception. By the way. Who else is standing with him?
I assume everyone.
I would be.
Yep.
So Tiny can roll perception to you.
Posse rolled up.
And,
can Vorak roll perception?
Well, let's say Stisk, because Stisk was actively... Stisk, Jesus. Twang was actively trying to figure something out. Twang, you notice that they're both her and this gentleman that she's with, their lower arms from like an inch below the elbow and down to their wrists are wrapped in a purple bandage looking type of material. As for your elf question, it would be super hard for Twain to really tell the difference between like a wood elf and a high elf. So you're not
Okay,
sure?
so it's obviously not a dark elf.
No, she's not a drow. Like that would be
Okay,
completely
so
obvious.
that's
Yeah.
all that matters. I'm gonna tap Emery on the shoulder,
Yes.
and I'm gonna point at the lower arm, and then on my lower arm, and then I'm gonna point at theirs.
Okay.
All of this in front of the person who's watching you do it.
Yep.
I think Twang's curious about your robes or your priestly attire.
I've never
Robes,
met a Kenku.
attire.
Fascinating creatures. Anyways, they're just a fashion statement, or I don't know. They've been a part of the uniform for quite a while.
So they don't
How
need
many
anything?
other priests are nearby?
Maybe like one off in the distance.
Probably can't tell the difference from there
Nope.
if they have it or not. Can't. Okay.
Well, they're kind of like ceremonial, I would say. It's just like how we're both wearing these robes. Or how your hair is in buns.
Buns?
Okay. No.
I'd
no.
still like to
Wait.
meet with the one who organizes and, oversees most of the things here, if I could, please.
Right, and like as I said before, is there a specific reason? I'm sure she's going to want to know why people want to meet with her.
Order of the Red Ivy business.
Everybody who's there, roll perception
Okay.
or insight, whichever is higher for you.
Oh shit.
You can re-roll it.
Ha!
Oh, ew! What the fuck?
Okay. Borg, are you rolling?
Yeah, give me just a second. One of my Discord servers suddenly just blew up and it was constantly pinging my ear. Yes, insight. Bink.
Okay. Xander, are you rolling anything?
No, I'm not there.
Okay. What are you
I'm
doing?
not there.
Are you still staring at the statue?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Twang and Tiny, and I guess Vorag as well. You'll notice that when he says, or when Emery says, Red Ivy business, that her brow kind of furrows a little bit. For Tiny and Vorag, it's barely noticeable at all. But Twang, since you're so used to like mimicking people's everything, you see the acute like difference immediately. Not that you necessarily know if it's a good or bad thing or anything like that, but you see the difference in her face. And then she looks at you and says, well, that does sound official. I can't possibly see what they would need with the Temple of Mistra, as they have their own priest, I'm sure. But I will put in a word with Shenra, and if you don't mind, I guess waiting here, while I'll have to go to her home. I don't think she's here at the temple.
If you should just use the 7 Dragon Balls to summon Shenron, it's much faster.
Nope.
Oh my god.
I'll applaud that. That was a good joke.
I mean, how hard could it be? They only used him like 9 times to bring Goku back.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Anyways. So yeah, she like kind of bows to you and then walks off. And the gentleman that's standing there says, all right, well, is there anything that I can help you with in the meantime?
I think we're quite content. Thank you.
And he kind of just nods his head at all of you and begins to walk towards the other end of the temple.
Oh boy.
All right. Are you all doing anything while you wait?
Nope.
Just walking around, generally observing.
I'm
It's-
watching Xander.
Worth noting, Tiny, that this is probably like the 10th time you've been to this temple for whatever reason. But it has been a long time since you've been in here. And it always has been kind of like pretty and nice. That statue's really pretty. So, I don't know. It might feel good to Tiny that she's back here, or she might have some weird emotions.
You're watching me?
Nope. Yeah, I'm
Nice.
watching you.
Is there echo when people are walking around?
Barely. It's not like super... It's not like an echo chamber or anything.
I start walking harder. Or like, stop.
Okay.
Xander, please don't stomp around.
I don't listen to her.
Okay.
Xander. I'll take your cape away. And I won't give it back.
Already gave it to you.
Yeah, he already gave it to
I
you.
know. I'm not going to give it back to you.
I don't need it.
Oh, snap.
Xander, you need
Oh.
to be respectful.
I walk away from her.
Okay. Do you like stomp away from her, or do you just walk away from her?
Yeah, I stop away.
Okay.
Nick, I fucking hate you.
Do I notice this happening?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna walk
Xander.
up to Xander.
Xander.
Oh, someone else is yelling. Never mind.
I go back to the statue.
Uh-huh.
you have like a weapon or anything? Is she like
She
holding
does.
anything?
She's holding a staff.
That's not gonna kill anything.
It is very
She
like,
needs an axe.
yeah, as you look at it, it's very like ornately carved and all that kind of stuff. Looks like it would be frail and frilly.
Too fancy.
I'm gonna come up and stand next to him, kind of like look up at what he's looking
I
at.
take one of my javelins and leave it there. This is better. One less javelin now.
Okay. So you leave the javelin on the altar.
Yeah.
Roll perception.
Xander.
I like where this is going.
Hold on. As you leave the altar as you leave the javelin on the altar and you like take a step back, you have this weird feeling like in your arms and your legs. You know that like restless feeling that you get like in your legs or something, like restless leg syndrome or whatever. You get that feeling for like a couple seconds in your arms and your legs. And then it's gone.
Is that like a good thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I think I need to hit something.
I mean, it's weird. Like, it's noticeable. So, it would, especially to you, since you're so like attuned with your body and stuff, it's weird. But it happened like right as the javelin touched the altar.
Well, okay.
All right. Vorag, are you doing
Would I
anything?
know what? Actually, I was supposed to ask. Would I know what Mitra is the goddess of?
Mistra? Yeah,
Magic.
you would. She is the goddess of magic.
Oh, okay.
She is
I don't know
also one of the 12 gods of Alexandria, although Kyler's not here anymore, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Hey, it might matter. You never
If
know.
Kyler
Well, I
was
mean, it
here when
matters,
Kyler got to
but-
fight the god to make his god more strong.
No.
Oh, I want to see that.
Mistra's not that kind of goddess. Mistra is more like a top tier god.
I would like to cast detect magic and just walk around with that on, see what I find. See what pings me.
Nosebleed.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
It sounds like a mistake, but you know what?
Uh,
I'm gonna do it anyways.
how far away from you? How far away from the statue do you want to be when you cast detect magic?
Oh, well, you're asking me this question. I'll let you decide.
Okay, I'd say that you watched Xander do that. You're probably like 60 feet away from the statue.
All right.
As you cast detect magic,
Yeah.
the only thing that you can detect, sense, look at, anything is that statue. All those purple veins that are like flowing through that black onyx is some form of ley line.
What?
Until the
This is
spell
this.
is gone, you literally can't do anything but look at those ley lines.
Am I near him?
Yeah, I'm probably like 10 feet away. Yeah. You literally, like, you watch him. You watch him look at like Xander and watch Xander like put the javelin down or whatever, and then you kind of see him stop for a second, and then you watch his head like snap in the direction of the statue.
Uh,
Does he have like that
What?
cat like wide-eyed look on him?
His eyes are glassy.
Four.
Nothing. No
I'm gonna
response. No movement. No.
Imitate Tiny's
I
voice as
made-
well.
Mage hand, slap him across the face.
Nothing.
4.
Is detect magic concentration?
Actually, that's a good.
I think it
question.
is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Let
Yeah.
me go
It
check.
is. No, it is. Roll a Constitution save.
Oh.
You slap him as hard as you can with mage hand, and you kind of like punch him a little bit with your own hand. Nothing.
Well, his nose isn't bleeding, so I guess I don't hardly have to worry about
No, it's
anything.
not.
I walk away.
All right.
I just fucking
Nose
leave
bleeding?
him there.
Well,
There's another like young woman who walks by, seems to be like a human woman, and she's wearing those same robes. They just don't have the purple trim on them. And she kind of like looks at you. She watches the whole mage hand thing go down, and she looks at you. And then she walks up to your group and says, Oh no! Did he cast to detect magic? Didn't he?
I
That
mean,
was a mistake.
Like, can you tell? Because usually what we can tell if his nose is bleeding. That's usually,
Oh
you know.
well, see, that statue is a source of magic. It's like
Oh,
standing inside
no.
the magic fountain in the other square and casting detect magic there.
Other square?
Oh no. How long is he gonna be like
I
this?
mean, as long as he can concentrate on detecting magic, I guess.
Oh god.
I think it only usually
gonna-
lasts for a couple minutes.
I'm gonna tap the priestess.
Yeah, she's, well, presumably a priestess. She's a woman.
And say other square.
Yes. Well, there's two squares here. There's the square with the crystal, and then there's our other square, which is a little smaller, but it's got a magic fountain in it, which Tiny would be familiar with.
Xander,
Yeah.
you want to do me a big favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you punch something for me?
Oh no. Oh no.
Start cracking
KO.
crack my knuckles.
Xander,
Please no.
I normally wouldn't ask you to do this, but since, you know, we're in a bit of a pickle and we're, you know, hard on time, I need you to punch Vor as hard as you can to snap him out of this predicament that he's gotten himself into. Can you do that for me?
I'll wave my hand in front of his eyes.
Glassy.
See, he
Doesn't
can't-
notice
he
you.
can't.
Nothing.
You know that one time where his nose started bleeding a lot?
Just wind up.
Vorag,
We were at
roll
that
I'm already
shop.
religion.
winding up. I'm already winding up to punch him.
All right.
Okay. All right. Vorag, before he punches you, Vorag, roll religion.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. You hear a faint whispering coming from the veins inside the statue. Or that's where
Yeah.
it seems like it's coming from. And then from behind you, from far behind you, you hear a cackling that sounds very much like Halal the first time she was laughing at you.
Oh.
And then you get punched. Go ahead and roll to hit,
Oh.
Xander.
This is 1d20.
Yep, 1d20 plus your strength, plus your proficiency.
Oh. Plus 3. I don't have proficiency, do I?
Yeah, you do. You
Yeah, it should
should
be
be plus 3.
Yeah, it's just plus 3.
So 9.
And I mean, 9's enough to actually like land the hit. You're not doing any damage or anything to him, but you hit him pretty hard.
I don't know that.
Vorag,
Yeah.
roll that Constitution save again.
Oh.
All right, you snap out of it as you get hit.
Would I know what hit me?
Yeah,
I'm crossing my arms.
I would know very specifically that it was Xander that hit me.
no, you wouldn't know that it was Xander. You would just know that it was probably one of them. They're standing like right in front of you.
Okay, then I won't instinctually cast Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
I'll just be like, huh? What? Oh, what? What? Hi.
I cross my arms and I look at him. Is he on the floor?
No, he like stumbled backwards, but didn't fall or anything. He didn't get hit that
Okay.
hard.
Well, I'm crossing my
Keep
arms and I'm
punching him?
looking at him.
Keep punching him?
Yeah, Xander, go ahead and punch him again.
Okay.
Punch him again.
I did say. Remember what I said earlier, Xander? When I said I'd remember this? Yeah.
Punch him again.
All right,
Punch him
yeah. So
again.
you punch him again. This roll the d20.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Hey.
I'm just sitting here, like, smirking right now with my arms crossed.
Oh man.
Is this for some damage, please?
Oh yeah. 100% is for some damage. Let's just go with a D8. Just roll a D8.
Oh.
Aw. But I mean, it's doubled, so roll 2d8 because it's a nat 20.
Oh no.
There you go. 7 points of damage. You do fall to the floor this time.
Oh, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
I walk over to him, laying on the ground.
Hold up. We're still in the I just took damage portion of this.
He's looking
Uh-huh.
at one of his spells.
But you're on the ground. He said you were on the ground.
Yeah, but he's
Oh, that's
looking
fine,
up something.
Well, while this is happening,
Okay, then yeah, I'm going to Hellish Rebuke
Oh
at the second
my
level.
God. Okay.
I took the blame for you.
No, you didn't. You didn't even slightly. That's why you just punched me, but it's okay. This will learn you. This will learn you quite well. Because it doesn't do anything to anything except him.
Yep. Make that
Save.
dexterity save. Yeah.
oh,
Damn.
Half?
Half.
Yep.
So half of.
7?
Half of 20.
Yeah, it's half of
Wait,
20,
so I have a
'cause it's 6
question.
and
Wouldn't he
14.
be at a disadvantage? Forge would be
No.
by casting that, or does that
no,
matter?
No. Because it's like a reaction type thing. It's not a.
Okay.
Half of
Uh,
20?
sidebar.
Because
Is
it's
there
a 6
flat-footed
and a
in this?
14.
Oh, okay.
No.
Mac, there isn't flat-footed. Okay.
So.
Okay.
I'm gonna tap Emery on the shoulder.
Okay.
Yes, Twy?
I point at them and I shrug. Then I make the sound of Xander hitting Vor.
I think it might be a tradition with them.
Tradition. I crack my
Nice.
knuckles.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
What does the
Let's
Hellish
go.
Rebuke look like?
It literally, it's you get engulfed in like a purplish flame. Like as you hit him the second time, as soon as you hit him the second time and he begins to fall backwards, his eyes like glaze purple really quickly and you're lit up in flame and then it's out. And you take the damage. It's an immediate reaction.
I am, however, now on the ground, so Tiny, you can do what you were trying to do.
I walk up to him as he's laying on the ground.
Okay.
Is that a hit?
Punch him
Four.
again.
Yes.
Hold on. Are you trying to punch him too, Twain?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, no, it's not a hit because you have disadvantage to hit him with melee because he's on the ground.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he'd have advantage for that.
Or never mind. I'm
Oh wait,
thinking the other
actually,
way
he
around.
would actually have disadvantage to hit me. I'm wearing the cloak of displacement.
Oh, well then it cancels it out, so it's just even.
Oh,
Because
Okay, then I
disadvantage
guess he
cancels
does hit me.
advantage. Yeah.
So then I should have had an advantage.
I mean, he hit you. You would have had disadvantage to hit him, but it's fine.
4.
yes.
Don't blame Xander next time.
Okay. And then I'll do
I
my
just
little
walk away.
celestial warlock thing on both me and Xander.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try to hit him again.
No, you hit him.
Oh, I already
Twang,
did.
Yeah.
Twang, stop.
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 Tradition.
Yes. Their tradition, not ours.
Oh, it's yours now.
I look dejected, and then I stand behind Emery again.
Go ahead, hit him again.
Hit him again?
Yes.
No. It was a lesson. Lesson.
No.
Lesson's
teach him a
over.
lesson.
Teaching.
Teach him a lesson?
No.
Yes,
Oh god. Xander, we're not punching him anymore, okay? You did really good.
Tradition.
I'll do
Tradition?
2 on me and then 2 on.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Pen
Ooh.
with the gifted subs.
Boom!
What?
Whoa!
Oh!
Thank you. I appreciate it. Again, this is all going to Nami, just like the donations do. It's gonna take a second for the alerts to play. They really need to do something with that alert option.
Like a group alert option.
Yeah, because I feel bad for some of the streamers that got gifted like 100 tier 3 subs and have like tier 3 sub things. Oh,
Oh my god, it begins.
Awkward's doing it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Cool.
Quick, someone call Cat's Chat. They seem to
No.
be doing that like crazy yesterday.
No.
You
We're
guys are
not going
nuts.
to repeat that.
I super appreciate it, y'all, though. Thank you.
I didn't realize we could do that. I was looking for the button before, but with the update.
Yes, we are an
And,
affiliated channel now. You guys enjoy your D20 love emote, drawn by Tiny.
Hi.
We will hopefully
I'll,
be getting more soon.
Real quick
Soonish.
for the heals, I'll give Xander the 7 and I'll take the 6.
Okay, yeah, so Xander, you Out of that 10, you re-heal 7.
You suddenly feel slightly better after telling after telling the Kenku to punch me.
I embraced it.
Speaking of, does the Kenku punch me?
Yeah, he
No,
hit you.
I would.
They did.
Just
the
the one
first
time.
time. The one time, yeah.
I'm
Not
just
for
gonna look at him
damage.
and go, why?
Tradition. I'm
Just
gonna
like
point it at
sadly.
Xander.
Tradition.
It's not a tradition, but it
Lesson.
is okay.
It's okay.
It's okay,
It's
yes.
not okay to punch me.
I like this bird.
But it is okay that you did it and that you feel bad. You don't need to feel bad.
Feel bad?
Yes,
Okay,
make
apparently
him
you didn't
feel
feel
bad.
bad. Not a tradition. Don't punch me. Thank you.
Don't
Punch
punch
him.
you.
Punch him.
Don't punch me.
All right. So you guys are standing there. You've had this this shenanigan happen. Pen and Shid, thanks for your actual subs too.
Yeah.
And you guys I guess you're waiting. Is anybody else doing anything? Emery, you're not doing anything else specifically.
Did anybody else see this?
I'm apologizing to everyone nearby.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. There are people that noticed, but they didn't like really say anything or do anything. They just kind of like watched it happen. Oh Jesus, the woman that walked past you and then walked back, she's like now walking towards you. She's kind of got like a stern look on her face.
Oh no.
She walks up and says, excuse me, this is a place of worship.
Tradition. I point at Vor.
Our Lady Mistra has no need for violence, and certainly no need for your unholy fire.
Unholy?
I don't say anything to the unholy portion, but I do apologize.
And she kind of just like, she takes your apology and walks away.
That's
Did she have the purple wraps?
No, she just has,
and
and her
Also,
robe is all white. It doesn't have the purple trim on it either.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm curious. Why are your robes different?
Oh, I am not yet a priest of Mistra. Priestess. Whatever.
Oh. I was informed that there was no rankings here.
Well, there's priests and priestesses, and then there's us that are trying to become them. We also have clerics of Mistra, and there are some paladins, but they do weird things, and I'm not sure. And I've only ever met like one or two of them, so.
Weird things?
What do you mean? Yeah, weird things.
Well, they like go out specifically for Mistra and her name and do things, but it's very all like quiet, and they don't like, you never come back to the temple and hear the grand stories of Mistra's paladins or anything.
Grand stories?
So they're secretive.
I guess. Or
Like
maybe
the
just
archives.
Nobody asks. Roll insight.
Who?
boom.
Emery.
There we go.
Finally. When you say archives, she like gives you a hard look.
Yes.
Yes,
Did I
well,
s-
the
offend
archives
you?
are a secret on purpose, I suppose.
Purpose?
Well, I'm sorry. I apologize for my friend's behavior. And yeah, we're just going to quietly and respectfully wait over here.
I'm gonna tap the priest on the shoulder. Priestess, whatever.
David, thank you for the sub to Pixie. Yes, go ahead.
Here, purpose?
She kind of just looks at you
I look
and
back.
then walks away.
Real quick, did our scuffle make any like noticeable like dirty spots or anything?
No.
Okay, good. And also, do I remember the vague whisperings in my ear from the detect magic?
You kind of remember that it happened. You don't necessarily remember like
what it was.
Yeah, or what was said, or anything like that. The bigger thing that was like still playing in your mind is that laugh from Halal.
I'm going to start humming super low and just staring at the statue, contemplating if I should do it again.
Okay. God damn it. All right. After about another 5 minutes, the other woman comes back. Excuse me. Shenra will meet with you, but we'll have to do it at her home.
That is perfectly acceptable to me. We have caused enough of a scene here.
Oh?
And on that note, I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
What do you do?
Oh man. Yeah, you guys watch as his face immediately snaps into like a locking position on the statue again. Go ahead and roll religion. Everybody else will notice as the woman, the priestess, like looks at you. You hear the whispers again, but you can't discern what it is. And then she looks at Vorag, and then she just snaps her finger, and Vorag, you snap out of it.
Okay, I'm gonna do the exact same thing Vorag did. I'm gonna mimic the
sorry,
face
the
snap.
whispers, and I was curious. I'll stop that now. And then I'll continue to give the statue a side eye.
As you do it, she kind of just looks at you and says, Kenku are fascinating. Anyways, like I said, we'll have to do it at our home, so please follow me.
All right, we'll follow.
All right, and she leads you out of the temple into the streets, which are decently busy, and there's some like people walking by. There's actually a rock elemental like walking down the street that everybody kind of has to like
say
make
hello
way
to the
for.
rock elemental in Primordial.
In Primordial,
Yes.
he looks back at you, and he like stops and looks at you for a second, and then kind of like bows his head to you, and then continues walking.
All right.
All right, then you guys continue down, and then you make your way into like a very small residential quarter. The houses are pretty packed together tightly and stuff like that. Kind of like old time England houses. Everything's like right next to each other. They're all built onto one. And then you are led into one of the houses, and into. Go ahead.
While that's happening, I'm gonna tap Vor on the shoulder.
Okay.
And using his voice, I'm going to say the hello in Primordial as well. But I'm going to cock my head like I'm confused.
Okay. You hear yourself say hello in Primordial.
That's gonna blow my mind for some reason. I'm just like, I'm almost gonna like stop walking in response, just like, what?
All right.
And then I'm immediately going to get super excited and start talking like borderline gibberish to him in Primordial, like trying to figure out like, wait, you can speak this?
I'm going to repeat everything he says.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna wise up and realize that he's just copying me, and I'm just gonna hang my head dejectedly and not say anything.
All right. All right. So you guys walk into this room. It's very small and very like, I guess quaint or cozy would be the right word. There's a fire. I like read chat as soon as I said that. There's a fire going in the hearth. There's a small like table that's got some stuff out on it. This room, however, and it looks like everything in the house is filled with books.
I tap Tiny on the shoulder.
Okay. Tiny, do you do anything?
What?
The bird tapped you on the shoulder.
Yes.
I point at the books and using her voice, I'm just going to say, read it from a book?
You want me to read the books?
Read the books.
Okay. Take some books. Fucking read them out loud to him.
How many books can I carry? I'm gonna tap Tiny on the shoulder.
Okay.
Yes.
Say please.
Please?
I put at the dress. Say please.
I
Because
opened
remember
my
you had the
dress.
thing about
No, yeah,
having-
no. I open my dress up. Like, I open a
Books
pocket
are
up to my
just
dress.
going in that pocket.
As you do this, a drow woman walks around the corner and sees you stuffing books into Tiny's pocket.
I instantly stop what I'm doing, and I pull out my drums, and I start making the tribal music from my childhood, the drow tribal music, and I start walking towards her slowly.
She kind of looks at you a little awkward.
Twang.
Sorry, we just wanted to move the books to an easier place where we could sit down and read them. I promise we're not taking them. I think he thinks that it's just easier to carry them this way to, find a good place to sit and read them.
I start nodding, but the music gets louder.
I mean, he's technically not wrong.
Well, interesting music choice. And she snaps her fingers, and all sound is cut out of the room, including like the sound of the fire, the sound of the drums beating. All of you, like, you're breathing and stuff. You don't hear any sound from it. If any of you try to talk, you make the words, they just don't come out.
I'm gonna start switching instruments because I think this one is broken.
None of them make sound.
Okay, I start to panic.
Okay.
And I look at Emery.
I'm just gonna cross my arms and shake my head.
I look at Tiny.
I close the pocket
Tiny
up out of
knows
my
what-
dress.
Tiny knows what silence is.
Yeah, I close it, and I close the pocket of my dress, and I just and I put my finger to my mouth and go shh.
I look at Vor.
I make motions to calm down and breathe, essentially like calm down, breathe. And then I'm gonna make with my hands. I'm gonna make like hands like I'm casting spells, and then I'm going to gesture everywhere. And then I'm going to make the shush thing.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit down and try to see what's wrong with my instruments.
Okay. All right. She kind of like looks around the room. Once everybody's calmed down, she snaps her finger again. And you guys hear like the sound of the fire and all that kind of stuff. So, my name is Senra. I was told you wished to speak with me.
Yes.
Also, she looks at Tiny. Probably best if you put those books back on the shelves before you leave.
Of course, I wasn't planning on taking them with me out. Anyways.
Anyways, how can I help you? It's worth noting that she's not wearing robes, but she does have the wraps on.
I mean, I'm not answering the question or asking the questions.
Well, I know.
Sorry, my mic's having issues.
Oh, okay.
Keeps falling over. Okay. We've been sent here by the Red Ivy, and we are investigating a specific subject.
Mm-hmm.
And the only place that has any information on it is most likely
the
the
Bellis
archives.
archives. Yes. The answer is no.
Well, I thought I would just ask.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not going to be involved in saving the realm, that is fine with me.
Right. Well, see, there are secrets in that archive that will destroy the realm just as much as it'll save it. There's a reason that it's not allowed.
So
Then perhaps there should be someone that could go in there for us and just grab what we need and then, let us
Once
have it.
information goes in there, it stays in there. That's the point.
So what if we just stand by the door and then have somebody go and get stuff and then have people watch us so to make
The
sure that we don't lose
information
anything?
itself doesn't leave the archives.
But people do.
Yes, they do.
With that information.
The few that know without that information. The few that are allowed in know very, very well that nothing that they say is allowed. Nothing that they see, nothing that they read is allowed to be uttered ever again outside those walls.
But what if it has?
So there's a curse on it.
She kind of just looks at you. You can roll insight.
Who?
Emery.
Damn it.
Dead straight face. Same.
Damn it!
I'm
Yep.
not even gonna make an attempt.
So it is
face
cursed.
I know better.
Is there anything else that you all need assistance with?
Do you have
I
them
stand
sign
up
a
immediately.
contract?
I'm sorry, say that again, Tony?
Do you have them sign like a contract or something?
They're in service of our goddess.
Does your goddess have them sign a contract? I'm just gathering information. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just very curious.
I know you.
Me?
Yes. You're the young sorcerer from the academy who was expelled.
I mean, I really wouldn't say expelled, but I mean,
However did you come to be in service of something like the Red Ivy?
to further my knowledge.
Hmm.
How did you become in service to your goddess?
Quite frankly, she asked. But it's good to know you're still on the hunt to figure out what you are.
I mean, I feel like it's important just because, I meet one dead end doesn't mean all options are closed off to me.
You won't find those answers in those walls.
I'm not expecting to find those answers in those walls, frankly.
So you know what we're looking for.
I know what she is looking for.
What is she looking for?
Nothing, Xander.
Looking for
Anyways,
nothing?
unfortunately, I cannot allow you access, and although I'm sure your cause is noble, for whatever your cause is, that doesn't change how the archive works.
How the archive works.
Right.
She's not going to explain that to us. That's why it's a secret.
However, because I know the Red Ivy and I know how you are, you're more than willing to, well, I'm sure you're willing, but you're more than able to try. Good luck.
Try what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Cut out.
She just said you're more than able to try, and then she said good luck.
Perhaps you could
I
tell
do-
us anything on Sagthul.
A lonely broken orc. Interesting. No, unfortunately, I do not have a great wealth of information on Sagthul other than, he's an orc that's no longer with his clan. He lives in a cave system somewhere in the wilds, but unfortunately, I do not have a great deal of information. You can roll insight if you want.
Oh!
Oh.
Damn.
She definitely knows something about Saxel other than where he is.
Are you protecting him or attempting to protect us?
Probably both. Anyways. During all of this, Vorag, roll religion again.
Oh no.
With advantage.
Hey. Hey.
Okay.
Thank you.
As this has been going on,
Yeah.
you haven't heard any of the conversation.
Oh.
Because in your head, those whispers started again.
All right.
And then eventually you like close your eyes and think about it for a second. Do you speak Elvish?
Nope.
I was teaching. Stisk was teaching him some.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah, along with
know a
me
little bit of
a bit.
Elvish.
All right. So you hear these whispers and then they become an Elvish and you don't understand anything that's being said to you. And then it stops. And then in Draconic,
Oh. Oh yes.
she begins to talk to you again.
All right.
And she tells you to learn
Channel
Elvish.
the sub. And she says, "Ah, the marked one in my temple."
Your temple? I'm in a house.
Before, child, don't play dumb. You're far too intelligent. You've made a very certain god very angry.
Uh-oh!
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that we find ourselves having this conversation.
Yeah.
Kalimvor is dying. His powers have been sapped. Do you know who Lolith is?
Would I know who that is?
Roll a history check.
Please, for the love of God, dice. Yeah.
Nah. She sounds mean.
I do not.
Well, I guess I wouldn't expect you to. But, for whatever reason, Lolith and her sister Shah have seemed to sap Kalimvor of his powers, and they're using it for something. Lolith being the more corruptive of the two, I'm sure it is not good, and I do not intend for her to ruin this plane of existence. So, my young warlock friend, consider me on your side. You'll know what it means when the time comes.
Let us into the fucking library!
Give us a key!
And then
I know, okay.
And
Alright.
the conversation's pretty much dead. As the conversation dies is when
Yeah.
they're finishing their conversation, or they're having their conversation about Sagthal. And what did you ask her, Dullahan, if she was protecting you?
Protecting us
Yeah.
or
Both, I guess. The orc
yes.
doesn't deserve to die, and I'm sure at least two of you wouldn't make it out.
Who said anything about death?
Oh, well, usually when the Red Ivy is involved, death isn't far behind.
What do you mean by death usually follows behind?
Well, you see, they're an organization that's paid to kill things usually.
Well, I mean, I know that, but it's
What was the
the way
last
she
thing
put
that
it
you
sounded
did
a lot more grim.
for the Red Ivy?
saved a small village from
Did you kill
werewolves?
anybody?
I mean,
If you
wolves
count the werewolf.
and a werewolf.
Exactly. Killed instead of cured. But, like I said, he doesn't deserve to die, and I'm sure at least one or two of you would die if you sought him, so that's the information I have.
Well, thank you for your time. I was hoping this would go a little bit better, but it was expected.
I do have one question though.
Hmm.
You said that you know what information I seek, and I wouldn't find it in the archives, correct?
Mhm.
Where would I find it then?
Maybe you'd like to have that conversation not in front of everybody else.
Do you have a moment to spare? Or do I need to come back?
Yes. If your friends don't mind leaving, I would like a word with Tiny here.
I raise my hand.
Bird.
I reach out to try to grab her hand gently.
She holds her hand out.
In Undercommon,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, do you know what happened to the northern tribes?
She's gonna look at you. And she's gonna say, "Oh, you've been playing with the dirtier of my breed."
Do you know what happened to the northern tribes?
No, I'm not even aware of those tribes' existence. She's also speaking in Undercommon.
I look
So-
dejected, gather my instruments, and then I leave.
Twang?
I turn.
Stay, please.
Say please.
I open up my dress and I give him all the books back.
Okay. Back on the shelves, please. Those are not easy to come by.
I'm gonna leaf through them a little bit as I'm walking towards.
Okay. There's a bunch of like runes and intricate detailed drawings of things like portals, and a lot of like planar stuff.
I'm
Shit
gonna
that's
Celestial
way over
books?
shit that is way over Twang's head.
I'm gonna try to memorize as much of it as I can.
Is there any celestial books?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he wouldn't know.
It's a forged thing.
Any?
Huh?
Do I see any on the way
I
out?
mean,
Just
no,
like,
not really. Most of the books are like bound, but they don't have like a title inscribed on them. You know, they're binding or anything.
Learning Celestial.
I would like a book like that.
I'm sure you would.
who needs to learn it?
All right, so you guys leave as a group, except for Tiny, who I assume is sane.
Uh-huh.
The group, what are you guys doing? Are you going back? It's probably about.
I'm gonna stand straight outside the door.
It's probably
I'm gonna
about
tap Emery's
4.
shoulder.
Okay.
Yes, Twang?
I'm gonna hold my hand out and start pretending to write with nothing.
You need to write something down?
Write something down. Write something down.
Alright. I'll pull out my paper and my brush and I'll start writing something down.
I'm going to forge the documents that were in the books.
Okay. Roll a performance check with disadvantage.
No, this is what I would naturally be able to do this though, wouldn't I?
No, you have to spend time looking at it, even you,
good point.
to make a mimicry.
Performance. Blah.
Okay. So you do draw one of the portals. Probably because it was like the most vivid. And it comes out pretty close to what the original was. And I guess you hand it to Emery.
Yep. Books. And I hand it to her.
I'm not sure this will be helpful, but thank you, Twang, and I'll fold it up and put it away.
Okay. All right. Anybody else doing anything before I focus on Tiny for a moment?
I guess I should probably tell them about what happened during the conversation.
Are you going to tell them?
Actually, I'll wait for Tiny to come out and then I'll tell
Okay.
everybody.
Xander, you doing anything?
I just woke up from a nap.
Okay. All right.
Am I still in the room with them? With Tiny?
Yeah, like the other guys walk out and then like it's just you and Tiny for like a second, but you see the door closing.
Are you coming?
I'll be out there in just a second.
Okay. Go out.
Go
Okay.
make sure Vor doesn't go staring at the statue again, please. If he does, like he was before, go ahead and punch him.
Oh, come on. It can't be that bad.
Noted.
All right. So you walk out. The door closes. Jenna looks at you for a moment, and she closes her eyes. And then the room gets noticeably darker. Tiny, as you look around, you realize that like the shutters and the blinds and stuff are closed.
Spoopy.
Then she looks at you and says, "Are you sure you even want the information that you're looking for?"
Honestly, I don't know, but I mean, it can't hurt, right?
Well, that's the problem. Information
What do you mean?
invariably does hurt. Thank you for this.
I guess that's a risk I'm willing to make.
Mhm. Well, I can understand. Come here, please.
Okay. I walk on over to her.
And she holds her hand out to you.
Okay, I put one of my hands.
All right. She takes your hand. Her hand is like warm and it's inviting. It's not as like for some reason you were expecting it to be like cold, but it wasn't.
Okay.
1 second here. There we go. And she leads you in like down the small hallway in her home, and down some stairs, and then into what is the basement. And then standing in the center of the basement is a circle written in runes, with purple runes and all kinds of different etchings and everything like that. And she leads you to the center of it, and she stands in the center of it with you as well.
Okay.
And she says, "Are you ready?"
I mean, yes.
She looks down at the floor and then looks up, and then you see like the eyes roll into the back of her head, and like her tear ducts become purple, and this like purple smoke starts leaking from where her tears would be like coming out. And she like holds her hands out to the floor, and then the runes start to light up on different sides of you, like diagonally, until eventually the whole circle lights up. And then a large, bright, like purple pinkish light blasts up from the floor, and you guys are not in the room that you were in anymore.
Looks like we're not in Delph anymore, Toto.
As you look around, or not even as you look around, like for a moment you're completely compressed. Your body is centered all into one point. It's super uncomfortable. It's super unnerving. You don't understand it. You don't understand what's going on or anything like that. And then as soon as all that uncomfort happens, it's all immediately gone just as fast. And you are standing in what looks to be some sort of lab. You can hear like falling drops of water and stuff like that. And you seem to be in like maybe a cave of some sort. Like the walls are unfinished. There's like stalactites and stuff on the ceiling. The lights that are in the room seem to be from the light spell because they're just like orbs of light. Which you've seen before for sure. She looks around and says, well, this is where I do most of my actual discussions, if I'm going to have them.
Okay.
Tiny, you were
Mhm.
born with your powers.
Yes.
You're naturally in tuned to the ley lines. That comes from somewhere in your family, in your lineage. Some type of god blood.
I'm sorry. I think I just didn't hear you correctly because I'm pretty sure you just said in my lineage and then you said god blood.
Of the gods, yes.
Like blood, yeah, like god, like
Mhm.
what?
Right. I told you. You may not want the information. But I can tell you whose.
Whose? And
Can
how do you know this?
Well, it'll take me a moment to figure out whose, but I know how to.
Okay,
And I
well,
know this because I'm like you. I did not ask
Wait.
for my powers. I was not given a choice. I didn't study to become the way that I am. But I learned how to control who I am. I learned how to use it for my good. And when Mistra found me abandoned and alone on the banks of the ocean, I was given a choice. Renounce what I was doing and follow her or die. Clearly I chose the first.
I'm still a bit taken back by the.
Yeah.
So, you are just like me, and
Yes.
you are able to control your powers. You're not even powers, but you just control the outcome.
I don't set things on fire anymore or kill innocent colleagues and chickens.
But how did you?
One thing at a time, Tiny. One thing at a time. Give me your arm.
Okay.
You
Hold out
hold
my
out,
arm.
Yep. You hold out your arm, and she takes this she walks over to the table and walks back to you, and in her hand she has a very small dagger. It's pure silver. It's got something etched into it. You can't really tell or anything like that. And she takes it to your arm and pricks it into your arm and makes an inch-long scratch. As your blood touches the blade begins to glow this like bluish color. And she takes
Whoa! Sorry.
she takes the blade from you and she says, "One moment." And she
Okay.
walks over to that same table that she was at. And you see her like rifling through some books, through some things. You hear her sigh. Are you sure
What?
you want the information that you seek? There's no going back.
Well, I mean, before you tell me, can you tell me whose god blood you have? Is it the one you worship?
Mistra is very careful with her blood. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it.
So you don't have Mistra's blood.
No, unfortunately, I am corrupted by Lilith. My experiments, my power, my inevitable quest to find out who I was, all these things that I did, eventually became in her name and for her bidding and for her well met. Killing people, stealing,
I mean,
seducing, torturing.
was that her will over you, or was that just...
I don't know. To be completely honest, who's to be the one to blame? But, like I said, Mistra found me, told me to renounce, gave me the ability to do so, and I've been here since. Your god may not be as easy to handle.
I mean, easier than Lilith? Or do you mean more difficult? What I meant to say was more difficult than Lilith.
She could be.
Well, I've already gone this far, so...
Someone in your
I mean-
family has fucked up, to say the least. You have the blood of Shah running through your veins.
You son of a bitch, Mick! God damn it!
Troll!
God damn it!
Do you think that Shah was just gonna let you go? Negative.
Fuck! Sure, my dog mistress! I'm sorry.
I don't know what that means
Fuck.
to you. I don't know if that means that you've found a way to control it, or maybe pray to her and figure it out, but I doubt anything coming from her would be any of good to you.
Well, I mean, that's a fair speculation on that. And I am a bit overwhelmed, to say the least.
Understandable. That's why I asked.
I just feel like now I have even more questions and
Right.
even less answers.
But now you know where to look. Or in the direction to, at least. She walks towards you, and holds your hand again, and then brings you back to the same type of circle that was in the first room, as you guys are having this conversation. Time flows differently here, and your friends will be waiting.
As in, how long will they think that we've been gone?
Oh,
Or how long have we been gone?
I mean, it's only been a couple minutes for me and you, but to them it's probably been 10 to 15.
No, I see.
She does the thing again. Her eyes roll back in her head. She points her hands down. The portal lights up beneath you. You feel that weird sensation again, and then bam, you're back in her basement type area. As you walk up the stairs with her, and you go towards the front door, she looks at you and says, "Oh, Tiny,
Yes?
I'm serious about the archives. Good luck. You'll need it."
Thank you.
And she kind of waves and lets you walk out. As you walk out, everybody's there standing, waiting for you. Insight, Emery and Vorag and Xander.
Would I have advantage on this insight check?
You do, yes.
Okay.
Insight for
Thank
what?
Christ, because it didn't help either way.
Insight for what? I don't care.
Oh, I mean, the look on Tiny's face, but that's fine. Emery, you see that Tiny
Okay.
looks disturbed, to say the least.
In that case.
Tiny, did you say something that upset you?
Huh?
Are you alright?
Oh, yeah. I'm just, trying to remember everything that she said. There was just a lot of information.
Would you like to return to the room for the day then? We can wait another day. It's no rush since we won't be getting anywhere anytime soon, it seems.
Yes, that would actually be really nice. Give me some time to kind of remember everything and clear my head.
Okay. Are you gonna tell everybody the conversation that you had, Vorg?
Based on the way Tiny's acting, no, I'll tell him in the morning. What time is it about now?
Okay, so it's about 4:30. The sun is actually going down, or like it's starting to set. I'm sorry, not 4:30, like 5:30, 6:30. You guys walk back. Once you get into the Crystal Plaza, everybody roll perception.
Whoa.
Hey. I'm not very insightful, but apparently I am the
Okay, so Vorag, Tiny, Twang, and Emery. You guys all, as the sun sets behind all of these buildings, off in the very, very far distance, you hear this blood-curdling, unnatural, piercing scream of a woman, like out into the sky. As you hear it and you look around, everything in the sky gets noticeably darker, like an overcast, stormy day or something like that. As it's happening, you're not the only one. As you look around, people in the plaza are also looking in that direction.
I'll draw my crossbow, and I'm going to look
This
at Emery.
This is the direction, by the way. Down to the south. But it sounds like it's very, very, very far away. Like, very far. And then when the cry is eventually done, it ends abruptly. And then the sky lightens back to what it normally was, and the sun continues to set, and then like the golden hues and stuff from the sun setting are still there.
What are the people around us doing?
I mean, they're looking in that direction. Once the sun goes away and stuff like that, like people start to talk to each other, but they're not like losing their minds or anything. It was a weird occurrence, but in Delft, maybe weird occurrences are normal.
What? Did you guys see something?
No, more like heard something. Did anybody else hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I quietly make the exact same noise.
Twang,
Okay.
no.
Oh,
It's
please.
yeah, it's like a terrifying noise. Even when Twain does it, it's like stop.
That's what you heard?
Yeah, that's
I know.
what we heard.
Do
Should-
we go check it
Let's
out?
go look at it.
Okay, let's go.
You're gonna go look.
Bolt in that
Yep.
direction.
All right. Well,
I have to
that-
slow myself down so they can keep up. But
all right. Well, that is where we are going to end it for the night.
Oh, the blood curdling screams. That's when it ends.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Find out next
can't
week.
take it.
Actually, maybe not.
Wait a minute.
Sure. Really? Really?
So,
Could
thank
be
you
anybody
everybody for hanging out. There's a reason. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you so much for all the subs today and all of the like support and the bits and everything. Really nice celebration into getting into affiliate for sure. There will not be a episode next week. Dullahan will be completely out of town. So we'll be skipping to the week after that. Please join the Discord if you're interested in playing. We play constantly, a lot of like one shots and stuff like that. And we just have like general discussions about D&D and tabletop in general. It's not all just about this show. It's literally an in general type Discord. Other than that, you guys have a great rest of your night. Everybody say bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.